All right, everybody, welcome back. It's episode 141 of the Canadian Private Lenders Podcast, a solo episode with your host, Ryan McNeil, today. Neil is on the road. He'll be back next episode. Just had a phenomenal interview with the team at Premier, Sara Squared, Sara Albert, and Sara Wright, the two founders of the business. They've built a phenomenal business primarily out of Moncton, New Brunswick, and now set up shop here in Halifax as well. Got into some great topics with them just about their history in the business, their social media presence, how they've grown their fulfillment team and their different aspects of their business. It was a really interesting conversation. Hope you enjoyed here. We actually had Sara Albert on back in episode 32 a couple of years past. She shared some very awesome stories from their time at Property Guys in the past as well. So highly recommend you go back and listen to that episode after as well. But hope you enjoy the interview with the Saras, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Canadian Private Lenders Podcast, a show covering the private lending industry, the mortgage broker space, and the Canadian economy. Your hosts are Neil Andrino and Ryan McNeil. Enjoy.
Great to have your other half, Sara, right here. Sara, welcome to the pod. Great to have you. Why don't you kick it off? Why don't you kind of go through a bit of your background and talk about like how you guys met and just kind of how you landed here.
Story. Oh no, these aren't notes. No, this is just.
Go for it.
So my background needs to be closer.
Nice and close.
Okay.
There you go. Like an ice cream cone.
Okay. So my background is a little bit, it's very traditional in the sense I grew up in Halifax. I went to university here. I started at the bank as a teenager. I was a bank teller in my late teens and went and worked there for 4 or 5 years. And once I was at the bank and done university, I'm distracted. Once I went to university, I left that. I moved a couple of different times. I've lived in Calgary. I was out there for 5 or 6 years. Out there, I learned all about mortgages. I went and worked for one of our monoline lenders that was in the channel back then. That would have been around 2007. So Resmore was their name. I went to them.
You would remember Resmore.
I recognize the name, but I don't remember.
Oh my God, you still might have been like really young.
Yeah, I've been in here 10 years.
Okay, so it was before that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 20 years ago. Geez. So I was an underwriter there, and that's when I first really dialed into mortgages. And I spent some time doing some training for the company. I worked in their ad management under their property tax department and sort of in their back end office. And then obviously your heart's always at home. So I moved back to Halifax. And when I came back to Halifax, it was 2010, I was like, well, I know everything about mortgages now, so I'm just going to go and sell them. This makes complete sense. And I went back with the bank that I originally had experience with and joined one of the mobile mortgage teams at the time.
It was TD.
Yeah,
TD,
I don't know.
okay.
Everyone's like, who was it?
Of course you can.
We
Absolutely.
can say whatever we want.
Whatever you want.
Okay,
Whatever you want.
So
Anything goes.
I went with TD. I was familiar with their systems. I knew a lot of people in their branch network, so it was a really easy choice for me. I was there for about 6 months to a year, and I was like, this isn't great. There's something missing here. And one of the girls that was hired on at the same time as me, her name was Julie, and she was in New Brunswick, and we did our training together. And Julie had since left. She was onto something and left, and she happened to be visiting Halifax and said, do you want to meet up for lunch? And I was like, oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it. And so I met up for lunch, and little did I know that Julie was now working with Sara. And
She left TD and came to me too.
Okay.
TD and Manulife have been mad at me a few times.
Yeah.
That's your training ground, Sara.
Yeah.
Got it.
So we went to lunch and, shared a lot of the same sentiments about the industry, same values, similar personalities, or personalities that clicked.
Opposite personalities.
But clicked very much. So Sara went back to New Brunswick, and we sort of kept in touch after that.
Well,
and Sara will tell
I tell a very different story, and it's much more animated than that. Yeah. So Julie just joined FCT.
Yes.
What's Julie's last name?
Julie Galland.
Okay.
She's our new FCT BDM.
Okay.
So we left this restaurant And this is back when we were actually going to a awards ceremony with Property Guys, or maybe even Premiere. But anyways, Julie was with me, and we got in the car, we start driving, and I'm like, Julie, like, she's going to work with me, and she doesn't know it yet. And then I started basically stalking her. Yeah. We got to tell the truth. I like started whining and dining her. I was like, the fanciest thing I knew how to do back then was take her to the bicycle thief. Remember?
Yes.
I got her drunk. I like totally old school.
That's still the go-to move, by the way, for recruiting people here in Halifax.
But here's the thing she forgot. When she was with Resmore, she was with them 2006, 2007 is when you started. Mm-hmm. I became a broker in 2008. Mm-hmm. And Resmore was one of my biggest lenders. So we finally figured out that Sara was one of my original underwriters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When you could do mortgages insured with Genworth of like 500 credit scores and refinance everything.
40-year amortization.
Yeah, like, I mean, you got 2 legs and a heartbeat, like, deal.
Approved.
So what you're saying was there was no need for private lending back then?
No.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Hell no. No. Back in those days, your father would come talk to me and be like, I don't need a private deal. I'm just going to go to Resmore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So worlds recollided
Okay.
once I was here. And Sara at the time, she was a broker with Premiere, but she was also sort of just starting the Property Guys thing. And for me, what was enticing about the Property Guys thing was, you know, the idea that you could generate your own leads, that you weren't really reliant on somebody else to give you business. And that was where I kind of struggled in the TD space. I was like, okay, I have to build all these relationships. Like, yes, you know, you have to, but also there must be another way. There must be another way to get business. And so that was sort of what was so enticing about that extra piece of what she was doing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point, she had only joined our team. And it took we were about 3 to 6 months in, and I was starting to build and grow the money with seed money we needed to start PropertyGuys.com mortgage. Yeah. And like, let's be honest, like, I'm just like piss and vinegar. Let's go. I'll figure it out as I go. But Sara had like this magic skill, and she didn't have to do any of this. Like, the thing that was the cool part.
Yeah.
Is like, Sara didn't have to do anything. She decided that she wanted to be part of it. Like, she started doing spreadsheets and projections and putting this in like presentations for me to get and raise capital for seed money and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, who are you? I think I'm in love.
So where did this experience come from, Sara, right?
I mean, it's
her brain.
It's the way my brain is. Like, it's
Cool.
so analytical, and it's so, you know, numbers don't lie, present the facts, you know, you'll get there. You know, I remember building that business plan.
Do you remember that?
Yes, it was like our first, and it was before tech was easy. Like, tech is easy now, right? But back then we had to put a PDF together. It was 70 pages. It had color. Like, it was
cool.
magical.
We have that. I know where that is.
Yeah, I still have it in my little plastic folder.
Oh, yeah. And we have it in PDF. I actually know where even the original presentation that I made, PowerPoint presentation of PropertyGuys.com was when I was 31 and didn't know better. I was
That's cool.
That was a thing.
Yeah.
So,
here's the other nuance. Before she went back to TD, she went and saw Dave and Dawn.
Oh yeah, I should say this. So when Premiere was at the Bears Road office, I was like, okay, there's got to be something else here. So I had my resume, I had myself, and I was like, I'm going to go in. So I got into the office. I went in. I didn't meet Dave at the time, but they put me to Dawn. And so I go in and meet Dawn, and I'm like, hi, you know, I want to be a mortgage broker, and this is my experience. And like, I guess I just don't know how to get started. And oh, yeah. And he kind of like
Dapper Dawn
pushed. He's like, yeah, I'll keep your resume. You know, we'll be in touch. And he kind of like shoved me out the door in a way. And so, and he doesn't even remember it. That's the best part.
Okay, but there's a funny thing. When I first wanted to become a mortgage broker, I tried to go to Premiere, And they said no to me.
Wow.
And then I met Dawn on a golf course a year later. I'm like, how do you like me now? So Dawn refused to hire us both.
Yes.
I think he likes us a lot now.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think that's a good bet.
We're some of his favorites.
yeah.
Just back to your analytical background. I've talked about this a few times in the podcast. I come from an analytical background too. I was in corporate, completely different industry before, and having a background or skills with like Excel and PowerPoint, it's kind of crazy how underrated in value that is in our market. And I feel like you're starting to see maybe more now in the Atlantic broker space. But like when I first came into it, it was like, I just thought this was normal. And when I was able to, do presentations or certain analysis and stuff like that, people were just kind of like, wow, like that's cool. That's something I haven't seen before. And it really does. I feel very fortunate. It does go a long way with kind of elevating your business to the next level.
Absolutely.
Well, it's the thing that I didn't believe, and I had no idea how to kind of high level. I knew how to build some things, but it was actually Dave McVicker that like I would fight with because he was analytical, and he made me follow his Excel spreadsheet of my growth every month, these numbers. Sarah, how many times do I look at the Excel spreadsheet in a day with all of our numbers?
Like at least 45 times.
I'm obsessed with what the facts are.
Yep.
Because facts
As you should
don't
be.
lie.
As you should be in this type of business. I live off of Excel still to this day. And it's like, if you want to know the health of your business, you need to be looking at that constantly.
Dustin Woodhouse did a really cool blog, and it talked about Excel. Do you ever read his blogs?
No, I haven't read it. No.
You've got to go back to
really
January and really read what he's writing about. But there's one in there about Excel, and I sent it to Sarah. I was like, Dustin sees you. And you're right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's, I want to talk a little bit more about branding here. So when did you guys rebrand to Premier Sarah Squared? It's been a couple of years now.
So 2018, we...
2017.
So we left Premier for a short time when we were doing the Property Guys thing.
Yes,
we were
I knew
with
that.
Mortgage Architects,
Yep.
and then we had come back to Premier. And at the time, it was just Sarah and myself. And Sarah was doing the broker thing. I was sort of wearing two hats in the background. I was supporting our business sort of on the fulfillment side, but I was also with Premier as an employee with them, and I was building their fulfillment program as well. So
Remember when we blew up our business?
yeah.
This is how we restarted.
Got it. Yeah.
This is the
And that was,
restart.
you went through the Property Guy story last time we had you on.
Yeah, this
and
is
it was
that's why they probably,
fascinating story.
they need to listen to episode 32.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
is the restart
Yes.
in 2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah. So Sarah started brokering again, and I sort of went and got a job and worked with Premier and supported Sarah on that side. So she was Sarah Albert. She was an independent agent with Premier, and it wasn't until probably 2019 that I had been. Now I came back from sort of having a baby, and instead of going back and working with Premier, our business was strong enough that it could sustain the both of us at that time. So
Yeah, it was healed enough at that point.
so then I had come back, and we were, it's kind of this dance. A lot of people have, are you an agent on your own, or do you have a team behind you? Is there somebody behind you helping you get those numbers, or is there not, right? So we sort of made the decision that
To be a team.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you guys obviously started with just you two, but I know you've evolved a lot in the last couple of years, especially in the last few years. You've really grown the team out. So I guess two questions. How did you determine it was the right time to grow? And how did you know like the right spots to fill? Because you've got social media, you've got fulfillment, you've got new brokers on the team, you've even got family aspect within your business now. So kind of talk about the evolution of the team in the past couple of years.
Well, it all depended. It was all dependent on how busy we are and how many times I cried to the other Sarah that I couldn't do another deal. No, I'm joking. That was 2020. I did make
She quit.
She was 30 days on maternity leave, and I'm like, you better come back. And she's like, I just had a baby. And then I'm like, well, we need help. And so Emma started as basically cooking and helping her with her kids. As what she started with. And I mean, she's gone through the whole process of fulfillment to signing packages, now doing all of our marketing. So our team has evolved with us.
Yeah. But I mean, looking back as to sort of figure out when was the right time, it's all about dismantling the tasks within your day and figuring out, we just had this conversation with one of our teammates today, is where's your superpower and where are you going to thrive? And also, you know, like Sara hates doing paperwork. She hates it.
Sure.
She hates
I don't blame you.
fulfilling a deal. She just wants to get the deal, get the approval, and then go get the next deal.
Yep.
She is like a
Pure sales.
true and true sales.
Yep.
And so you can be a great mortgage broker and be a great salesperson, but you also have to wear 5 other hats.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do compliance. You have to fulfill the deals. You market. Like, so
You have to pay attention to the regulators, and every time we have to update our friggin' consent.
yeah.
Wow, it's unreal how much work there is from end to end.
Yep.
Yeah. So kind of dismantling those tasks and seeing our numbers of like, okay, if we're doing, you know, 30 deals a month, that's 30 signing packages, that's 30 compliance pieces, that's 30 lawyer emails. Well, how long do those take? And when can I not do all of them anymore? Right. And so that was when, after Emma was my nanny for a little while, she came on and she started doing half-time as signing packages. And, you know, it is hard to commit to somebody and say, you know, come join our team. You know, you're taking on a salary, but there's great programs like Premier has their fulfillment program where you can just like test an assistant or test having paperwork done for you. And so it gets you to the point where you can really absorb an employee. And
Cool.
Yeah, and our team has been with us for a long time too, which is strange, and it confuses some people. So Courtney and Sue both have been with us for 12 plus
Oh,
years.
wow. Okay. Did not know that.
Right. So they were with us in the property guys days.
Yep.
And when we dismantled that, the dismantle came with going to Premier and saying, we have this amazing team. Can they help Premier grow while we regroup?
Mm.
And that's where Sue and Sara
yeah.
helped build the fulfillment team and Premier Plus.
Right.
That was our
Right.
team
I do recall this now.
that
Yeah.
helped in that. So they always knew that as we regrouped, I'd take people back.
They're coming back. Got it.
So Courtney had stayed with us. She was a realtor in Ontario, and she was doing many different things and wearing tons of different hats. And she had this incredible attitude of flexibility. It was always like, what do you need?
yeah.
What do you need? How can I support you in this one thing? This is what we can do. Like, she just never gave up. And then there came a point in 2021, maybe, Sara, where Sue was like, can I come home now? So like our team has been with us technically for a long time through ebbs and flows. And as you're growing a team, trust is the key. And trust doesn't come in 20 minutes. Trust comes from a team that has been through things with you that are really intense. Like these people on our team are like insanely loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard thing to explain to people. And we don't have a typical broker team where it's all like everybody's out for their own and on commission. Like we're all on salary.
Yeah.
So the world is a bit different for us.
Yeah.
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 So you guys obviously have very much a growth mindset with your business. I think you've grown every year since I've been in the business, without a doubt.
This year's kind of hard.
Yeah, this year, things are challenging right now,
Yeah.
but I got faith in you guys. Sara, Wright, so you were in Moncton for a lot of years. You've since moved back to Halifax.
Yes.
And you guys are growing your presence here in Nova Scotia now. So is the goal, or maybe you can kind of talk a bit about the numbers if you don't mind, like, are you guys growing faster in Nova Scotia just with having more presence here now? And what's kind of like, what are the future growth plans for Premier Sara Squared?
So,
In private lending, time is everything. The faster you move, the faster deals close. At Mortgage Automator, we build a platform that transforms how credit unions and enterprise lenders originate, service, and scale their business. No spreadsheets, no chaos. Just precision, automation, and control. From loan origination to servicing and investor management, every step is seamless so you can focus on what matters most. Growing your portfolio and customer base, not managing it. From AI to compliance and everything in between, Mortgage Automator is trusted by hundreds of private lenders across North America and is the highest rated platform on G2 and Capterra. Mortgage Automator, powering the future of private lending.
one of the things that I totally I mean, you expect it, but you don't expect it. We have a very established, amazing business in New Brunswick. We have a good reputation. You know, we've took years to kind of build that together. And coming back to Halifax, you know, it's exciting to come back. You're, you know, we can do this here. And there's a little bit of an assumption that you're like, well, it's, you know, at level 10 in New Brunswick, I come here. Shouldn't it be at least at like a level 5?
Right.
Like, but it's not. It is back to basics. It is, you know, you got to drum up business.
Sure.
You got to get out there. And so there's a little bit of a learning in that. And that's totally been part of it. But, you know, we hired, so I moved home in end of 2023.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It was forever, but also just yesterday.
Yeah, I hear you.
2024 was mainly just managing New Brunswick business because it was still too much and we hadn't grown enough there. We didn't hire brokers in Halifax until in January 2025.
Yep.
So that was really when it was like, okay, let's try to get out there in Halifax. And yeah, it's just going to take time.
Yeah,
it's
of course.
It's going to take time. Like I would say of our overall business, there's probably 10 to 15% being drawn from Halifax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. So
It's not bad.
yeah.
So you have yourself, obviously, Alex, Tracy. Is there anybody else Nova Scotia based on the team?
There was an admin that we had hired.
Okay.
She's off on maternity leave right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's 4 of us here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our team produces a baby a year.
Sounds like it.
It's very fertile.
Yeah. Amazing.
I'm not doing any of that. But we haven't had a baby yet this year.
Okay.
And because of the time of year,
It's impossible.
it's
now.
impossible.
There you go. There you
So
go.
it's our first year in 9 years that a baby wasn't born.
I mean, that's what happens when your whole team is women.
Meh.
Like,
We have Alex
Bound to
now.
happen. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's awesome.
yeah.
But like the growth is different in Halifax. I think fundamentally, New Brunswick mortgage brokers don't realize actually how good we have it. It is not nearly as competitive
I was
as
just about to go
Halifax.
there. I was just about to ask that question.
saturated.
Like
Yeah.
Yep.
and the Halifax competition, she is fierce. And no matter what way we turn in Nova Scotia, they all work for Premier.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys have a massive presence here.
I
in
went
Halifax.
to an event in New Brunswick for Volkers and
Ankles and Volkers.
Ankles and Volkers,
Ankles
yeah.
and Volker.
Yep.
They opened a new office, amazing event. A bunch of Halifax people in there. I asked every single Halifax person, so who's doing your deals? And it was all Premier, and I laughed because I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Premier has got a really big presence.
Yeah, not only a big presence here, but like a lot of the top producers are
Oh,
here
yeah.
too, and
Yeah.
very strong realtor relationships
Oh,
from what I've seen
yeah.
as well.
Super
Yeah,
incredible.
So you got your work cut out for you here, but I got
100%
faith.
we do.
I got faith
We
in
do.
you guys.
And it's just one bite at a time. Like
Totally.
you're not going to come here and own the market.
Yeah.
one's
No.
going to,
Well, it's a
right?
nice thing that you
Like,
guys already have that base, that strong base in Moncton and New Brunswick, right? And there's
It's
there's
consistency.
still lots of opportunity there, I'm sure, as for you as well.
We just need to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
The same things over and over, showing up. The deal, it doesn't work quite the same, the strategies in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. And you just got to own that. You just got to understand that there's
Yep.
a fundamental difference.
Totally. Okay, I want to pivot a little bit here. I want to talk construction loans. Okay, I'm looking at you, Sarah Albert. We spend a ton of time in the private space educating brokers that these loans that they feel are intimidating are actually not that complex at all. And Sarah, I know you absolutely love doing construction loans.
Oh, I love that.
So what would you tell a new broker to the space on how to approach a construction loan? Whether it's private or wherever, it doesn't really matter.
Like a brand new broker.
Yeah, brand new broker. Someone who has it, or someone not necessarily new, but it doesn't have experience with construction loans.
Okay. Because I'm like, no brand new broker should be doing this.
Fair.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
if they're new without experience or not coming from a really strong background in the banks where they've seen construction mortgages before, then it's going to be a very buyer beware because you have to be in front of it. But it's all reverse engineering. It's just numbers. What is the appraisal when it's complete? Do you have full quotes? How much money does the client need? Is it the right loan to value? How long is it going to take them to build? And what's your exit strategy? it's really, really quite straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I know I break it down to that simple, and I mean, things can go wrong. Like it can be really, really tricky because not every client should be approved for a construction mortgage. Like some of them don't have the experience to do it.
Yeah.
So there's still underwriting involved. But like if you've got the right quotes, you've got a client who has money. They can't have no money. Like, you know.
So why do you think the intimidation factor is there for these brokers? Do you think it's because largely a lot of brokers are coming from the bank, which doesn't love construction loans in the first place because of the admin burden associated, and therefore the mindset is that, well, these must be complex, so I don't want to deal with that?
I think there's a misinterpretation about how much paperwork it is.
Interesting.
And I will tell you that like doing a construction mortgage with one of the banks, which we do them CMHC insured, whether it be with the credit unions. I mean, we don't do them with any of the big banks, but League and Omista.
Sure.
Yeah, it is actually really, really hard. And that bank's going to push back on you hard. And you think, oh, I've got this perfect client. Why isn't this easy to get approved? You're CMHC insuring everything, so this should be easy? Mm-mm. In the banking world, it is 100% challenging to get one approved. But in the private world, if you have a strong client, it's the easiest thing to get approved. Like, I spend less time on my construction mortgages than I do on certain files that are normal refinances or purchases.
Yep.
It's really about the numbers.
And what would you say typical client profile? I know we see a lot of strong credit but self-employed or contractor or small builder. Is that typically with the profile that you're seeing with these loans?
I would say yes. Like I've definitely got a lot that have been self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to take them out on B.
Yeah.
So I know that's not going to a bank.
Yep.
I also have a ton of clients that are tradespeople.
Yep.
Like these guys have sweat equity of $200,000 and $300,000. Like these are super talented people that are swinging the hammer. Like I have one I'm taking out from you right now. I've got to take it out on B, carpenter and self-employed. I understood the mission.
Yep.
The house is worth $885,000. I needed $400,000 from you.
Yeah.
Of course he should build his house.
Yeah.
So we do see clients with skills and we do see clients with experience. They are not first-time buyers.
Yeah.
They know what they want and they understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if part of the intimidation too is the fact that there's multiple draws or holdbacks or whatever you want to call it throughout the loan. But like from a broker perspective, you don't really have to worry about that. You can, see how it's structured up front and explain it to the borrower how they're going to get their money in progress draws. But it's not like you're having to underwrite it every time a draw comes up.
And there's a spreadsheet for that to tell you how much the draw is.
I'll insert myself here because I came from bank and I had no construction experience at all. I mean, I had no B experience. I was like super vanilla in that way. And construction mortgages now, like I can do them, but are they my favorite thing to do? No. Why are they intimidating for me is because
that's fair to think
I'm
about.
not familiar at all with building a home. I've bought lots of homes in my life. I've done renovations, but I've never built a home. So the intimidation for me comes from a contractor who's pressuring a client about stages and draws and this thing's coming next, that thing's coming next, and them telling me, and I'm going, well, does that go before drywall or after drywall? Like, I don't
never
know
thought of
that,
it from that perspective.
Right? I know the math. I see the math of going private, doing the takeout versus being CMHC insured and being locked into the rate.
Yeah.
The space that people aren't familiar with is what's the process of building a home.
Yeah.
And if you've
But-
never done it because you were a painter.
But do you really need to know? Did you need to be an expert with that information, or do you just need to know the
No,
numbers?
I need to know the numbers, but I need to know enough to hold the conversation
Fair
with
enough.
the client.
With a contractor,
Yep.
Because
too.
then you're scrambling and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now I don't like not knowing. So
Fair enough.
that's
It's
exactly
intimidating.
why.
Yeah. And I've been involved in construction for so long.
Yeah.
Yes.
My ex-husband and I owned a painting contracting company that my son-in-law owns now, that it was all new construction. I have worked in construction for so long that I know from soup to nuts. I have built my own house. I have gone through this. So when a client's saying to me, these are my quotes, I actually can look at it and go, dude, where's your HVAC? You haven't done anything for permits. Who's putting your well in? Oh, well, my well will be 10 grand. Get me a quote. Like, I can be a little more sassy with them. I might be sassy sometimes.
All the time.
So for Sara, it is intimidating when a contractor is involved. It actually can sometimes be a little bit more challenging because you're dealing with someone else's emotions, not just the clients.
Yeah.
You're now dealing with the contractor's cash flow, the contractor's emotions, their expectations, and it can feel pressurized, but it is about setting expectations.
Yeah, fair enough. That was a good segue, Sara. I think I want to kind of talk a little bit more about alt lending as it relates to new brokers coming into the space, because this is a big mission of ours to promote the importance of this. And obviously, as you guys know, the alt space and private space has been growing substantially for the last 10, 15 years. But a lot of brokers who are coming into the space, especially if they're coming from a bank, they're naturally going to be most comfortable on the A side. I think you basically just said that, Sara, right? So what would you tell a new broker who's just coming into the industry about getting exposure to alt lending and private lending early on, and how that's going to impact their career later on?
Are you a private mortgage lender in Ontario looking for trusted legal support? Meet Grecky Carter Professional Corporation, a boutique real estate law firm in Midtown Toronto with deep expertise in private lending and mortgage enforcement. Grecky Carter closes hundreds of private mortgage deals every year, and when recovery becomes necessary, they handle both contested and uncontested enforcement with precision, from forbearance agreements to power of sale and cost recovery strategies. For lenders who demand clarity, efficiency, and results, Grecky Carter has you covered. Visit gclaw.ca to learn more and safeguard your private lending investments.
I'm going to let Sara start this because she has stories from when she first started, and she'd be like, there's no deal here, bro. And I'd look at my,
Sara.
oh my gosh, so many deals.
Sarah's motto is there's always a deal. There's always a deal.
I love that.
And I can see it now too, after doing this now for so long, and you know, I'm 100% comfortable in the alt space. But when I first started, for sure, it's like, this person went bankrupt. Sarah, and I'm like, I can't do anything. And Sarah's like, give me that bureau. Because back then we had files. We didn't have things on our computers.
Right.
Oh my gosh, we're still getting so old.
But yes, she would say, you know, there's always a deal. And you have to think of it as like a way, like getting back to normal. Like if you want to be back at the bank, if you want to be at, you know, TD or, you know, with Manulife or CMLS or something like that, how do you get there? It's staged approach. Like, are you in alt? Well, you got to be in alt for 2 years. Here's your plan. This is what you do next with your credit, and give them that plan to get there. And maybe you have to start at private. Maybe you go private alt A, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about the broker understanding that that's the path to get there kind of thing. And so that was something that took a while at the beginning for sure. I liked the job letter pay stub.
But
Cookie cutter.
She sure did. And I was like, wah, wah. So, but even Tracy and Alex, Tracy was 37 years TD?
I think 36, but yes.
36 years. Well, we have to ask Tracy this question. Her first ever approval was like a double bankrupt at Yes Capital.
Amazing.
And I'm like, she's like, I love this job. So I think that for a new broker, if they're going to be in the A world, they should probably just go work for Royal Bank.
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of being a broker?
Yeah.
So that you can have a couple of different A rates in a couple of different places?
Yeah. That's a good point.
You need to know B.
I'm going to start using that, Sara.
Like, well, no, but seriously, you might as well go to RBC and sell 3.89.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Get your leads fed to you.
Get your lead. Like, what's the point of being a broker if you're only going to, you know? Now, I'm not saying that sassy. Like, I have friends in New Brunswick who are brokers who don't prefer construction.
Sure.
And they're not really heavy on the alt stuff, but they understand it enough to heal a client.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand how to be your client's credit financial planner. We have to stop with this. We're mortgage brokers. Clients have financial planners. We are credit planners because that's part of your financial plan.
Yep.
So if you don't know it, you should just do A deals and
Yeah.
work for the bank.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned Tracy there. So, extremely long track record at the bank, but she's been reaching out to me regularly to talk about deals. And I can tell she's like a little bit intimidated, a little unsure, but I love the fact that she is trying to figure it out, because some people might just be like, nope, my comfort zone is over here at the bank on TD cookie cutter deals. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yep. And our team is hilarious now because Alex, even though he was Manulife, also very A world, financial planning, totally. But now, like Alex, like, Sara, this is like the best B deal. I'm so excited to do it, because they also are very straightforward. Alternative lending and private lending, when done well, when you're well educated in it, you create a relationship with your client that is so sticky, and they never go anywhere.
Yep.
Ever.
Yeah, because alternative and private, it provides a solution to clients that really don't feel like there's an option for them.
Yep.
So when you can give them that, the connection it never breaks.
Yeah, very great point. We talk about it all the time, whatever private and alt represent, probably 20 to 25% of the market share now, right? Like that's a significant portion of your business. But you're also getting paid more on those deals for two reasons, because, fees can be slightly higher, but also the terms are much shorter, so you're moving that loan quicker. Yeah. But probably most importantly is what you guys just said, is the loyalty you gain from it.
So
not just from that borrower, but everybody else in their network, everybody else in their family. They're going to tell them about you, the success that they had with you and their friends and so on and so forth, right? And that's just going to naturally grow your portfolio as well.
But also too, like, it's a strategy. We have clients that are with alternative lenders, not necessarily private, that I'm self-employed. In order to qualify at the bank, I need to claim $150,000 in income. Well, that client now gets to claim $80,000 in income and do stated income. Their rate is what, 1% higher? Who cares? That 1% on that rental property is way cheaper to write off with Revenue Canada than it is for you to claim, another $70,000 in income. Yeah. Like, it's also an amazing tax planning tool. Yeah. Like, clients think they want a bank rate when they learn what they have to do for it.
Yep.
And sometimes it's actually the wisest thing to do. Like, when I think about our builders who we do privates with and flip houses, and there's just such power in knowledge, and you have to spend money to make money kind of feeling.
Yep. Makes sense.
But also breaking down for them, like you just said, like if it's 1% higher, really, what is that doing to your payment over the next 2 years?
Yep.
And what interest is it costing you?
Yeah.
Like when you put that number to them, they're like, this isn't a bad deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
This solves my problem.
Totally. And one thing I always tell brokers as well that are not as used to the private space is like, show them what the actual dollar cost is versus what the sticker, the percentage rate is on this, because when you talk in actual dollars, it ends up being very minimal versus the pain that you save and the flexibility you get by exploring other options.
Well, also even with private lending and construction, like I did the approval call on today. I actually showed them what the CMHC fee was going to be on their mortgage versus the private lending fee. And then the rate that they were going to be locked into versus what I could do on a refinance and flexibility. And for the convenience, the power that they have in their hands, it was almost the same cost.
Yep.
Yeah.
And more flexibility.
Yep.
No headaches.
Yep.
They're like, are you sure, Sara, we'll get money when we're weather tight? I'm like, yeah.
I've done this once or twice. Yeah. I want to pivot into social media. So you guys have put a heavy emphasis on social media in your business. We've got Emma in the background here, getting some behind the scenes content. And everybody talks about the importance of social media in our industry and many industries now, but you don't see as many people truly investing in it. We're doing it here. That's a big reason why we have this podcast. You guys have regular content out there, but a lot of people in your direct competitors are not doing it. So can you guys kind of talk about how the impact this has had on your business and how it's led to additional growth?
We're not sure yet.
Okay. You don't have numbers for me?
No.
Well, no, not yet, because we really did a huge investment in February. It's actually Emma that came to us with the plan. It was like, this is what I want my job to look like. And we were like, all right, that's time. We need to do this because AI is now going to search the interweb for content and things, and we're going to fall behind. So the 28-year-olds, we knew we wanted it, but it's intimidating to do.
Yeah.
So we know a lot more people are talking about us. She's still working on the math. What's the math?
Well, I mean,
It's a tough one to quantify, isn't it?
It is. And social media, like we've had a presence, like we've had a Instagram page and our Google page, like we've had
Emma's done it for 5 years.
significant things out there, but it was very like information based, and it wasn't like that next level of our faces and our personalities and trendy little funny videos. Like it wasn't that. But when we were,
I'm thinking of me slapping you
we
yesterday.
did them yesterday.
Just wait.
Sarah was supposed to push me out of the way, and she came out of nowhere, catfighting. I'm sure the blooper will end up on Instagram at some point, but
Yeah, I totally slapped her.
and we laughed. Anyways, yeah. So just this past year, it was like, so you know, moving to Halifax and getting into a space where nobody knows you or nobody. You have to re-engage the brand and do all of those things. It was like, oh, okay, so how else are people looking for us? Like Google reviews. Well, of course, we have so many Google reviews, and we're building up the Halifax Google reviews. But like, how do I consume information? Like, you know, I doom scroll when I'm trying to put my kids to bed, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's how I see all of the realtors and see all the things. And so I'm like, we can do this. We can do this in a way that's fun, that represents our team, that is a bit trendy. Nobody else is doing this, right? Like everything is just information based. But there's like a piece to this that isn't quite like a realtor and not in a negative, that comment's not negative, but you know, just getting us as a team out there and having a place where we can reference like, oh, you kind of know who we are now.
Yeah.
Like this is our brand.
And there's going to be a point, if it's not here already, that at least with the younger generation, that they're exclusively looking at your resume on social media versus Google and Google reviews. Right? That anybody could write, and you could, you know, hand someone a gift basket for writing you a Google review, right? Like this is actually, like you said, Sarah, it's literally, you know, you on the platform, and people are seeing you talk as an expert, right?
Well, and we have lots to say. And you know how you were saying like, oh, standing in front of something and taking a video.
Yeah.
That gets really hard after a while because you sound repetitive.
Yep.
But we need to share what our personalities are. I'm not suited to every client. Sarah's not suited to every client. We all have different superpowers. And I think that's what's really unique about our team is that we put people where they belong, right? So the social media is helping people to see how quirky and different we are, and that I'm the complete nut and she's the bolts, right? And then we have all these other ones all around, right? So yeah, so I mean, and it's intimidating to do social media, and it feels uncomfortable, and I feel it's hard. I'm getting better at it, though. It's really a muscle you have to exercise. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, but we won't really see, like we had decided, I think the first year that we were back with Premier in 2018, we had said to each other, let's focus on Google reviews and let's do it for a year.
Yep.
And that was what sort of catapulted us in the online space.
Yep.
Because, I mean, 40%
Still
of our
very
business,
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge,
It wasn't until we were a year after doing that consistently, and we talked about consistency before we started this podcast today, but you know, even with Emma, it's like, well, how do we know? Is it because we have 10 more followers this month?
Right.
Well, no, it's not. Like we have to do this for a year, and then we have to see, you know, what we can measure from that. But it is a commitment when you make a choice to sort of market in a certain way or get out there in a certain way or build your business. Like you have to commit to that.
Yeah.
And then
because there's no magic bullet.
no.
Like I feel like everyone's looking for the magic CRM. The magic do my deals for me, the magic social media, the magic.
Yeah.
It's hard work. It's consistency.
Yeah.
It's investment. And if you try something for 30 days and it doesn't work, but if you believe it does, keep going. Like our team is growing right now, and everyone's like, oh, you guys should be doing 1,000 deals a year. I'm like, we're training a team. This is a year to a year and a half investment in growth. Same with the social media. It's an investment.
Yeah, that's a really good point. There's no magic bullet. And whether it's Google reviews or a website or social media or running a seminar, it's about reminding people what you do and getting in front of them as often as you can, right? To make them think about you when the time comes to get that next mortgage.
Yeah, it's such bullshit, all this. Like, we all want fast results, but things are built over time and
Yeah.
consistency, and it's the reps, man. You gotta
Totally.
do the reps.
Totally.
Yeah.
I got one more before we go into the bonus question category.
Oh, I didn't
All
know
right.
there's a bonus question.
So we used to always ask people what their favorite thing was about the mortgage industry, and every single person said the people. So we changed this question. Okay. So now the
Yeah, I
question
would've
is,
said the people.
and maybe not you, Sarah, but 99%. What's one thing each of you would change about the mortgage industry? And you can talk NB, Nova Scotia specific, or it could be a national thing. What's the first thing that comes to mind? One thing that you would change?
I mean, the paperwork. I would change the requirements. Of course, there has to be disclosures. There has to be timing on certain, forms being signed at the right time and notes and all of those things. But the amount of paperwork that is presented to a client, especially in New Brunswick and maybe Nova Scotia is going to develop more things as we come, but it's just, we inundate them with. And when you think of the experience when you
Unclear.
go to the bank, like I'm going to go to the bank and get a mortgage, I think I sign one consent form and that's it. But we're sending out signing packages that are 55 pages long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's and we're saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. It's redundant. It's totally unprofessional, because why am I signing 55 pages? Right. So
What's the reasoning for that? Is it different regulations? Is that FCMB and
Yeah, well, I mean-
MRA in Nova Scotia, or
yeah,
what?
like Premier has their own forms internally that we sign, and then there's certain forms that FCMB requires you to sign, and then there's lender forms that you have to sign. So
Got it.
it's all these pieces of a puzzle, but again, like and depending on what system you use, maybe that system shoots out a different consent, and so now you have 4 different consents. And anyways, it's just
Crazy.
a lot of repetition, and I think it's something that's really clunky.
And you feel like could be consolidated?
100%. There's a
Cool.
more
I like that
efficient
answer.
way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What would I change about the mortgage industry? Collaboration.
In what way?
Well, I always think about the Australian market. Like the Australian...
Your answer is so high level, mine's so specific. Paperwork.
That's all right.
The clouds. Do that.
Well, if I look at the market in Australia, and in the 2008 crash, all of their stuff came crashing down because basically 4 banks ran the world there, ran their market. And now in Australia, mortgage brokers work with all the banks.
Yep.
I would say 80% of mortgages are done by mortgage
Yeah,
brokers
70
there.
to 80% was the last data I heard. Crazy
it's
numbers.
Absolute crazy number. And why that works is that Australia rebuilt after the 2008 crash. They rebuilt their broker network. That was one of collaboration. The bank didn't own the client solely. They own it together. The broker can work with the lender and ask questions and do customer service type things. There's a reciprocity in that relationship. Like, I do not want to send a file to TD, for example, and not be able to answer the client's customer service questions. Also, I would like TD to make money and keep putting money in the broker industry. Like, I want that deal to stay there if that's the right fit for the client. I should be always able to redo that, even if it's smaller comp or even if it's something different. I think the lenders and brokers, it shouldn't be us against them and them against us. We are a unit. And that collaboration would change the client experience. We could also put so many things in place for licensing and requirements, and those banks make us agents have special training. Like, man, there's such an opportunity to work together and send a different message to clients of ones of like, you are a better client than you think you are, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. That is what I want to see.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I'd say one of the biggest opportunities Canada has in the mortgage broker space is to increase the mortgage broker share as a whole, rather than like fighting over clients or fighting for brokers at different brokerages, right? Like, how do we get from like the Canadian share is like 30 to 40%, depending on where you are in the country.
Yeah.
And like you said, like Australia's 70 plus. Like, how do we make that jump in Canada? Do you have an answer for us?
We have to go learn from Australia. Like, I spoke at one of their conferences out in Whistler and I met these brokers and I learned how it was done. And as scary as this sound, they basically stripped the industry back and rebuilt it the right way. So you kind of got to take out old school expectations and bring in new ideas and new expectations. It's a really big and hard bus to turn. And anything that involves money and anything that involves compensation, any kind of change, no matter the industry, whether it's real estate, mortgages, insurance, there's going to be a lot of infighting in that. It's all about money.
How do you think RBC is going to feel about that?
RBC, I was joking with someone yesterday. Who was it? Oh, no, I was talking with Colin over at BMO, and he's like, I heard a rumor another one's coming. And I'm like, must be CIBC. RBC's not coming in our channel. I think that they shut their doors first. But they should be here.
Yeah.
They have a crazy amount of talented workforce. They really do.
Yep.
I mean, as a broker, we all want to say, RBC's my competition. But there's so much talent that works there. It's super impressive. Why aren't they capitalizing on that? What are they doing? So I just see the world a different way. I see one of collaboration, and maybe that's naive. Maybe I need to get on board with a little bit more capitalist attitude. I just don't have it.
Fair enough.
Team player.
Very good. Anything else you guys want to promote on the team before we move into the bonus questions here?
Promote?
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Do mortgages with me.
Great sell job.
I looked right at the camera. Yeah, I got nothing. I just love being here with you guys. We get to talk about this stuff and
This is great.
share our voices with the industry. So,
Love it. Okay, Sarah Wright, I'll start with you first. Okay, so kind of the opposite of you. I grew up in Riverview and now living here. But so you obviously spent a long time in Moncton, and now you're here. So can you kind of talk about that change a little bit, moving your family, and what you like and maybe miss about Moncton? What like about living here and miss about Moncton?
Oh, my house in Moncton.
Okay.
If I talk
What
about
part of Moncton did you live in?
I lived like right down by the George Dumont Hospital.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it was just a couple blocks from where Sarah lived in our
we
old
all walked
office.
to each other's house.
Yeah. And I brought my kids home to that house. Anyways, the house was beautiful. It was kind of, and that area is very much like West End, South End in Halifax, right? The character homes, the proximity to downtown, all of those things. So my house for sure. But I mean, Moncton is like growing up, Moncton was, not talked about at all when I was in Halifax.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you're moving to Moncton? What do you mean you're going to New Brunswick? Like, what are you doing? I was like, there's this girl and she put a spell on me. I'm going. So, but Moncton is a really sweet city.
Yeah.
It has so much community. It is very family orientated. It is, it's wonderful to have French in the city. Like I didn't grow up learning French. Like I don't know French at all. And it's something that I envied there. Like I would have loved to have been able to speak French. It's just it's such a rich culture. And so it's really, really nice place to be. Yeah. Like
Cool.
My in-laws are still there. So we do go back there often enough. And
We're still there.
Yeah. And the office is still there. The girls are there, but I'm coming home. I mean, I live now in a similar neighborhood to where I grew up. So everything is super familiar to me, but man, is it busy.
Yeah.
Like,
Changed a lot.
It has changed so much. And to get to one place to another takes forever. But, Halifax always sort of had my heart.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so close with your family. That's why
my
too.
family,
Yes, she's such a family
Coming
human.
home.
Yes.
Favorite restaurant in Halifax?
Like, is this pre-kids and family?
Yeah,
or
whatever.
now? Okay.
Yeah, go wherever.
Actually, I love the Wooden Monkey. So I have like a stupid allergy, so I have to watch where I eat. But Wooden Monkey is always so consistent.
They cater
and
to you?
delicious. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
So, Sarah Albert, I feel like we stumped you with, we usually ask like food questions in the bonus round.
Last time you
And we
asked me about
pizza.
pizza.
We always ask about pizza, and like you couldn't answer the question. It was crazy. You're the first person
I
that,
know
like,
now.
First
I
time
know.
I've ever stumped you with
I know
a
now.
question. I wasn't going to go there, but go ahead. What do you got? What do you got?
It, yeah.
You all know it now.
Ronaldo's.
Okay.
in Halifax.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually got that a couple of weeks ago for the first time. It was really good.
It's so good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So
I was going to go a different direction for
Tell
you.
me.
So Premier's going on their 20th anniversary trip
Yes.
later this year to Dominican.
Yeah.
And I know you've gone on a bunch of trips with work and
Yeah.
family and whatever. So what's your favorite vacation destination that you've been to?
Italy.
Okay.
Italy. I went with my backpack and I did that for a month.
Amazing.
And I did that right before Sarah had her first baby because I was like, I better travel
I'm
now.
never going to be
Squeeze
able
it
to
in,
do
yeah.
anything again.
Did you go all over the country?
Yeah, I had actually won the trip from Street Capital.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sending me from Atlantic Canada, Italy for 4 days. I'm like, that's stupid. It's going to take me 4 days to get there. But I flew into Pisa. I had my backpack. I took a train to a castle called Quachero. I did a yoga retreat and shared rooms with people for 4 days. Took the train to Florence, stayed in a hostel, and traveled with all these friends I met in the yoga retreat. Then went like full on baller in Tuscany with Street Capital, and then flew down to Sicily and had a car and another yoga retreat for 10 days. Like Italy. Oh.
Nice. Proper Euro trip by the sounds of it.
Oh my goodness. And the food and the weather it was in May. When was Noah born?
Noah was born in June. Yeah, so May.
We were petrified she was going to go into labor while I was gone. So it was the month of May. And cool time difference. It was really hard in Bali and Thailand, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
I did Bali for a month with my daughter Emma, and I loved it. But the time difference was really hard on work.
Yeah, definitely.
But that Italy is that's
On the bucket
where
list
it's
for me. I
at.
haven't been yet, but
Oh, you gotta go.
that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap?
No,
No, just thanks for having us.
Awesome. Thanks for being
Awesome.
here.
Thank
and,
you.
Thanks for listening.
well, thank you for all your
Cheers.
support. Bye.
Thanks for listening, guys. It's Neil, your co-host and co-founder at Keystone Mortgage Investment Corp. And Director of Investor Relations. I'm also a real estate agent, real estate investor, and business owner.
And your co-host and co-founder of Keystone Mortgage Investment Corporation, Ryan McNeil. Keystone MIC is licensed under the Mortgage Regulations Act of Nova Scotia, license number 3000844, and through FCMB, license 89280. Keep in mind, the views of this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not financial advice.